Alright everyone, we start off today with, of course, the big news. Another Jussie Smollett kind of moment. Kind of, sort of. It's not entirely clear what the fuck went on here. Paulpelosi, the husband of the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, was attacked last night in their San Francisco home. The original story was someone forced entry and bludgeoned him with a hammer. That was all we knew at the time before we had, the actual suspect's name, and people went back through some of the social media stuff that's there, and it's confusing, to say the least. We then learned that actually the person came in the back door, wielding a hammer apparently. Somehow Paulpelosi also had a hammer when the cops showed up, despite the fact that he was allowed to excuse himself to go to the bathroom in order to call the cops and say, hey, look, somebody in my house has got a hammer. And apparently at the time, if you listen to the dispatch call, the individual had not yet made any threats and appeared to be just waiting for Nancy to get there, which she's in D.C. at the time. It's going to take a little while, David. David Depape is the attacker, and nothing about this story goddamn makes sense. There was an initial knee-jerk reaction, of course, when somebody who's the top Democrat, the husband of the Speaker of the fucking House, is attacked. Initially, of course, everyone blamed MAGA. Biden came out and made a statement, well, MAGA, we need to do more about this right-wing violence. Every craptivist on Twitter, oh, MAGA this, MAGA that, all Republicans are to blame for this. This is the result of Fox News. This is the result of hate speech on Twitter, and Elon Musk, by the way, is adjacent to that. Blaming literally everything under the sun, but then we learned who did the attacking, David Depape. We've learned that he was a nudist activist. First, he's living in San Francisco. Not exactly MAGA country. Sounds a little bit like the Smollett case now, doesn't it? We learned he's a nudist activist. Apparently was the best man at a nudist wedding at one point years ago. Was at least formerly a member of the Green Party. And makes hemp jewelry for a living. So this is a hippie-trippy sort of dude. If I had to look at the things that he apparently has posted, and some of it is like manosphere stuff too, I'm thinking that we're dealing with a psychotic leftoid, and why do I get the feeling that we're going to find out that he sent 10 emails a day to Nancy Pelosi pushing for the legalization of hemp farming or something like, or public nudity being federally legal or something like that. And we're going to find out that, of course, because Nancy Pelosi has other better things to do than listen to a psychopath rant all day, he decided to show up at the Pelosi home, only to find Paulpelosi in his underwear already wielding a hammer. And some people are saying that this might be a scandalous sort of situation, that basically it was, as many politicians get up to, and Paulpelosi's married to one. We know he has substance abuse problems. Some people are thinking that he was intoxicated and that this was a gay tryst behind his wife's back, something to that effect. That the hammers may have been not actual hammers like you would use in construction, but something that resembles them and is used in certain bondage scenarios, or was part of some weird fetish for construction workers or something like that. I won't go so far as to claim that that's the fact, because, we've only got circumstantial evidence of this. The entire story from top to bottom is 100% fucking bizarre. I lean more towards disgruntled constituent of the Pelosis themselves. Again, San Francisco dwelling, former Green Party member, posting weird, erratic shit online, some of which is leftoid straight up, some of which is more like manosphere, like, LGBT bad and stuff like that. And it could be a projection. You could tie that in with the potential conspiracy theory with regards to what those hammers might have been used for. Regardless, Paulpelosi was bludgeoned with a hammer. The cops show up, they say drop the hammers, and David Depape allegedly grabbed the hammer that Paulpelosi had and then bashed his skull, and he had to go to surgery. He might end up with brain damage or a hemorrhage or something like that. He is 82 fucking years old. How much abuse can one body take? He already gets abused by his wife, allegedly, too. I can imagine Nancy, she gets loaded. She gets hammered all the time. Maybe she occasionally throws a punch or a slap or a plate or something like that. Link in the description, though. Archived, of course. There is a compiled list of things that you do know about David Depape. He is absolutely a former Green Party member. I don't know if that registry would be current, but he listed that some years ago. He is a nudist activist, living in San Francisco making hemp jewelry. The knee-jerk reaction that it was automatically a MAGA, a far-right hate crime of some sort, has not been recanted by any of the legacy media outlets, and in fact, they've doubled down on the basic story. The timing is also a little bit odd. 1 week out from the midterms, yeah, and then all of a sudden, the Speaker of the House, her husband gets attacked in their home, which apparently lacks a security system. Apparently, there was no security system active at the time, forcing Paul Pelosi to somehow convince his uninvited house guests that he needed to use the bathroom. I'm an old man, I'm probably going to have a colostomy bag soon. I'm going to go drop a deuce, so, can you wait a moment before you attack me with the hammer? Make yourself comfortable. Here, trust me, there's plenty of booze. My wife won't miss it. And he excuses himself to go to the bathroom to make the call, and then he leaves the receiver open. Nothing about this story makes sense. The timing is bizarre. The story itself is bizarre. And the fact is that the people that are covering it, that immediately said, well, clearly Donald Trump is responsible. Elon Musk and Fox News, right-wing extremism, it's obvious because it's Nancy Pelosi's house. They're not asking any questions about the bizarre situation with regards to the attack itself. Absolutely, but like the most bizarre that I've seen, this warps beyond Jussie Smollett levels of strange and crazy. They're not asking that question, and they're simply pretending. They're trying to do the wall of news thing, where they keep pretending that there's some sort of evidence that this is right-wing inspired, because it's only a week out from the midterm elections. They're hoping that no new info comes out proving otherwise before that happens, so they can make speeches like they did with Smollett. And then months later, we'll find out this dude was disgruntled because his hemp farm was shut down. Because public nudity is something that didn't become legal in some province where he visits or something. That CPS took one of his kids away. We're going to find that there's some sort of gripe directly with the Pelosis that has nothing to do with his own political ideology and probably has to do solely with his lifestyle. And that's the reason why. We're probably going to find out that there was stalkerish behavior, that he was known to the Pelosis, considering the circumstances. Paul Pelosi apparently quipping that, I've got a friend over, but, I'm calling the cops anyway, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, he broke into my home with a goddamn hammer, but he let me use the bathroom. And didn't try to take my phone, by the way. This story stinks to high hell. There are shenanigans going on with it. The official storyline that you're getting from like MSNBC right now, I objectively claim will be disproven in the future. They're just hoping that it doesn't happen before the midterm elections, because this gives them a platform to run on. We must defend democracy. Look, they're coming for the Speaker of the House now. These evil MAGAs, oh my God, they're so violent. Again, how many people leave the Green Party to put on the Make America Great Again hat? How likely is that, especially in a place like San Francisco? What's far more likely? Anarchism. A bizarre, hedonistic sort of hippie-trippy lifestyle that doesn't vibe with the neoliberals. As a constituent, gets upset because his 10,000 emails were never answered on the topic of hemp farming in the United States becoming legal. It's going to be something like that. Nonetheless, they're going to. I strongly urge people to dig deeper and try to find out any additional information that they can about this, because it ain't going to be the legacy media doing journalism. That's about all. Peace out.